Hello, everybody. Welcome to Grandma Hershey Cooks. I'm Grandma Hershey, spelled with the U and not an E. So don't get it twisted. I can see now that this ring lamp is not a good idea. Blooper number one. Let's move it back a little. I can see it in my glasses. You know, I work around here. It's a live show. You might get anything, and it still ain't right. Trying to be fancy dancy. Look at that. And I don't even see the food. Man, today is weird already. Okay, maybe that'll work. Whew. Lord have mercy. Anywho, you know how it goes around here with Grandma Hershey. Anything can happen. All right, so I just want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for watching whatever time you watch this show. And these lights ain't no good idea. I was doing better without them. Look at this. Let's take this crazy light off. This will blind you. Anywho, okay. Oh, let's get with the program. So, anywho, this is a live show, and it's a show for people with macronutrient restrictions. And I do want to say, because I have a couple of friends who are allergic to onions, and I do want to say that whatever recipe I have that have onions in it, then I believe if you just omit the onions and that Mrs. Dash with herbs, because they have onions in it too. So don't use that. Whatever season that you normally use those, okay? Because you're already used to that flavor. So use your favorite seasoning and it should still come out okay. And that one friend of mine, she cooks so good she need her own show. Miss Ava Arnold. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, you. She cooks real good. I've had her food without onions and it tastes good. So anyway, if you have diabetes, if you need a pescatarian recipe, and this is pescatarian if you use vegan cheese. And they have some good vegan cheese because I've done it when I went on the Daniel fast. I used the vegan cheese and it worked just great. Okay. And then if you have high blood pressure, if you have high cholesterol, any kind of problem that you have, not any kind, almost any kind, gluten, whatever, nuts, I've got recipes. I may not put them on the show, but I've got the alternative to whatever I'm making for those restrictions. Okay. So now, what I need you to do is, if you haven't done it already, I need you to click those thumbs up to like the show. And I also, if you haven't done it already, I need you to subscribe. And once you click subscribe, look for the black bell, because the black bell will let you know every time I come on. Okay. So click that black bell and join us. All right. So, and I need a lot of subscribers so I can go through my phone. I have to have 1,000 subscribers in order to go live from my phone. And I would like to take us to the grocery store. So get all your friends together and all your relatives together and all of theirs and tell them to sign up so that we can go to the grocery store. Okay, we need to go shopping. All right. So today is episode 22. So when you see that E with a number, that just means episode 22. And it is cheesy garlic mashed potatoes. Yes, it's one of my favorite. I've been making it for years and I love it. And I'm going to come up with this recipe. I'm calling it Southwestern, but it's going to have corn in it and it's probably going to have some pimentos or something other, whatever, to make it Southwestern. And it's going to be a mashed potato. I haven't done it yet, but it's coming. So anywho, but before I get to the next thing, I want to give some shout outs. So Donna, my friend Donna, and my pastor and Mama Lean, his wife, our first lady, they watched the show live last week. And I want to say thank you so much. I get a kick out of seeing when people watch it while I'm on, so they can catch all the bloopers first. See, they get it before you do if you watch it later. So anyway, I want to shout out to them. And then I also want to shout out to my sister by another mother, Marie King, and to my actual brother, Hurley King, for sharing the show, as well as Tyrone. Okay, I want to thank you guys for sharing my show. And if I don't know who shared the show beside them, I want to shout out to you too. But tell me something and I can shout you out next week. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. And then if you had a birthday this past week, I want to say happy birthday to you. Birthdays are special in my book. Okay, so happy birthday to all those birthdays since last Tuesday. All right. Now, I want to talk about my little Juneteenth outfit, my little Africa earrings. Yesterday was Juneteenth, and I saved my outfit for today for the show. And I want to tell you a little bit about Grandma Hershey. I am excited about Juneteenth because I am 73% West African, and my paternal great-great-grandfather came to the United States on a slave ship. There was 7 of them, 7 brothers. 2 of them were sold to someone north, and then the other 5 were sold to Mr. Alexander, who was south. So I don't think he ever got to see his other 2 brothers. But I want to thank God for abolishing slavery when they did. And so I celebrate Juneteenth. And I just thank God that everything turned out great for my great-great-grandfather, because by the time he was 41, he was a free slave and he owned 100 acres of land. So he turned out okay. And his brothers also turned out well. So I want to thank God for that. So anywho, now that Juneteenth is out of the way, I want to talk to you about today's recipe and last week's recipe. So I was looking up the macronutrients of last week's recipe and this week's recipe, because I had mentioned last week, if you make that meatloaf, that barbecue meatloaf, along with these cheesy garlic mashed potatoes, that would be a great combination. So I put the 2 together with the nutrients, both together, 1 serving of barbecue meatloaf along with 1 serving of cheesy garlic mashed potatoes. The calories is 435. You can't even beat that for a meal. Okay, the saturated fat is 11.6. So if you have high cholesterol, don't go hog wild no matter how good it tastes, and eat more than 1 serving. Eat your 1 serving and eat it slow, and then do it again tomorrow if you want. Okay. The cholesterol was 86.3 for both together. And so that's another thing you want to watch if you have high cholesterol, is that too. So although it tastes very, very good, I guarantee it. Like I said, last week was Hook'em meatloaf, and this is the Hook'em sidekick. Okay. So the sodium is real good for both. So if you got high blood pressure, you're going to be safe, because both together, it's 525.6 of sodium. So that's real good for a whole meal, okay? Then the carbs. Well, let me tell you the sugar first. The sugar for both is 4.2. Diabetics, you got it, okay? And so now this potato dish is high in fiber. So when you put the 2 together, the total fiber is 21.7. That's a good amount of fiber. So what you want to do, because of the carbs in the potato, the carbs together is 38.1. However, you want to figure out your net carbs, because fiber blocks carbs. So when you have 21.7 of fiber and you subtract that from the 38.1 of carbs, you're actually only getting 16.4 carbs for the whole meal. Okay, so you can have these potatoes if you are diabetic and if you're watching your carbs, because the fiber in the potato is blocking the majority of the carbs. All right, now all you gurus who like your protein, this is good for you too, because both of them combined is 19.5 grams of protein. This is a good meal. Rock 'em, sock 'em. Okay. I told you it's going to be good. Grandma Hershey going to look out for you. All right. So, anywho, now the potatoes by themselves are 280 calories, 8.8 saturated fat, 23.2 cholesterol, 98.3 sodium because of the cheese. But you put them two together and it's going to make things level out. And then you got your sugar of 0.7 and the protein of 9. So put things together. I'm going to have this section in my book called, what am I calling it? Half and half. Because it's going to take like maybe something that's high in something and something that's very low in something. And then you're going to have a medium thing so where you can have it. That's how you can go ahead and have things that you like, because we should be able to enjoy our food. We should not have to eat nasty, bland food just because the doctor says so. Okay? They need to talk to Grandma Hershey. I'm telling you, tell them I said so. All right. So anyway, let's make this recipe. We're not going to keep you long. Time is of the essence around here. So I did peel my potatoes. I'm going to tell you the step by step. You know how I roll. So you're going to take 6 regular potatoes and you're going to peel them and then you're going to cube them. Then you're going to rinse them because you want to get that starch off. All right. You don't want all that white gummy stuff in your pot. Rinse these potatoes. Get you a strainer and rinse the potatoes. Then you put them in the pot. Then you're going to fill the pot halfway with water. That way you can put it on high and walk away. Set your timer first for 35 minutes and walk away. And they're going to cook your potatoes. All right. And they'll cook faster because they're cubed. Not in a big old giant square, not a whole potato, but a cube. Every potato is going to be cooked. I guarantee it. All right. Grandma Hershey been doing this for a while. She ain't going to steer you wrong on purpose. Okay. Anywho, then after you rinse these potatoes, not rinse them, after you cook them, you're going to drain them in the strainer. You don't have to rinse these. You want them to be hot because they have to melt your butter. Then you're going to take 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter and then 3 tablespoons of your margarine. I did that half and half thing my sister had told me about. It worked out pretty good, actually. It cut the salt, but it kind of raised the saturated fat, but it's still okay. It's still okay. It's better to have an all butter, which is really going to raise that cholesterol, okay? So I did 3 tablespoons of each. And once the potatoes are done, you rinse the water, pour the water off, and you put them in a bowl. And these potatoes aren't as hot as I wanted them to be. I tried to warm them up in the microwave, and then something wonky happened, and the microwave just shut off. I'm going like, oh my God, don't tell me my microwave is gone. You know we get to panicking about a microwave around here. But I heard it come back on. But anyway, my potatoes not hot as I want them to be. But anyway, we're going to take our 6 boiled and peeled and cooked potatoes and cubes, and we're going to put them in this bowl. All right, get in there. You always got somebody stubborn who don't want to join the party. Shame on them. Get in there. We want everybody to join the party. All right. So then we're going to take our butter and our margarine combination. We're going to put them in the potatoes. Now, I hope this mash up good because they need to be hot like they would be if I would have just taken them out the pot. Oh, lordy. Anywho. Then we're going to take our seasoning before we start mashing the potatoes. We're going to put our seasoning in there. So when you mashing it, it's going to get worked into the potatoes as well. So our seasoning are 1.5 teaspoon of Mrs. Dash garlic and herb. Now, if you're allergic to onion, then just use garlic powder, all garlic powder. Then you're going to have 1.5 teaspoon of regular garlic powder. And you're going to have my good old honey garlic by Weber. I'm telling you, that's my new favorite thing. So put that in there, 1.5 teaspoon. And then you're going to take our new friend, the kosher salt, 1/4 teaspoon. That's all you need. You do not need a lot of salt in this, okay? You're watching your blood pressure, 1/4 teaspoon of our kosher salt, all right? Because the salt is going to be in your cheese. And you got some also in your margarine. All right. So then we're going to put our seasoning in. Okay. I mean, it's going to be good too, I'll tell you. I guarantee it. Okay, now we're going to mash. Take a masher. If you got one of these little gadgets. And we're going to mash the margarine and the seasoning into the potatoes. Okay. Yeah, it's not melting the way I want it to. Lord have mercy. You know how it works with live shows. Something is bound to go wrong, but then you wouldn't have a blooper. You know? So, but it's doing okay. We're going to mash them up real good. And you know, some people like to put milk in their mashed potatoes, but to me, it comes out soupy. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I never was very successful when I put the milk in. So, but I think it's just great with the margarine, the butter, the seasoning. Okay, so then you get it nice and mashed up. Everything all mixed in there together. It's usually mashed faster when it's hotter. But don't worry about that. Yours going to come out great. Okay? So see how it's pretty much mashed up good? I'm going to take that away. And then we're going to add our cheese. So now what I used was 2 cups of the mac and cheese shredded cheese. Because, hey, it's going to melt and you're going to think you're having mac and cheese, but you have potatoes and cheese. And I also added 2 slices of the Kraft single slices, the American cheese, because it will melt better than even the shredded cheese. So we put those in there as well. Woohoo! Get that going. And then the last thing you have to do is just stir all that in together. So we're going to stir all of that in together. And of course, the cheese is not melting as fast as I want. Dang blasted microwave. I tell you, technology is good, but sometimes electricity can jack you up. I don't know why it acted fool on me, but it did. But thank God for my kitchen angels because they made some yesterday. And it's already all the way put together. So, well, once you get all this stirred in good, it's going to turn kind of orange looking. And then you're going to spread it out. See, it looks pretty orangey. Hope you can see that. And I'm not as happy as I normally would be because it's not doing exactly what I want. Okay, I'm a spoiled brat. Okay, so anywho, when it's done, you're going to take your chives and you're going to sprinkle it on top to make a pretty cheesy garlic mashed potatoes. And since that one is not as warmed up as I like it to be, and I'm going to keep saying it because Grandma Hershey don't like disappointments. Anywho, I'm going to show you the finished product from yesterday. Okay, thanks to my kitchen angels. They're so sweet. They always looking out for Grandma Hershey. And you know Grandma Hershey's thing. She's got to taste it to make sure it's not poison. All right? We don't want nobody getting sick around here. So I'm going to put some in this bowl. Some of the ones that's heated up. Maybe it's not as heated up either. Good Lord. They use the same microwave. Anywho, I'm going to taste it for you. Because I bet you even if it was ice cold, it's still going to be good. It's still good even at room temperature. Hook 'em meatloaf with a side cut kick. Hook 'em cheesy garlic mashed potato. That's a win-win. So if you're trying to impress somebody to have them come over to dinner for the first time and you really like them, you make last week's meatloaf along with this week's cheesy garlic mashed potatoes, and you're going to have you a conversation going. Somebody going to fall in love. That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. So what I want to do is remind you, if you haven't done it already, thumbs up, subscribe with the black bell, and then share. Share this video with everybody you know. Share it with your family. Share it with your friends. And share it with your enemies because everybody got to eat. Okay? Next week, tamale pie. Ooh, get ready, y'all. This is a family favorite, tamale pie. Next Tuesday at 5:30 Central Time, we're going to be tearing this kitchen up. Okay? So thank you for coming. And I truly, truly enjoyed you. And I hope you enjoyed me and my room temperature potatoes. I don't know what else to tell you, but I love you. You have a great week, okay? Love you. Mwah.